If you want to maximize your growth potential, you need to be doing these 3 steps. And this is a 3-part series going over training, nutrition, and recovery. So yesterday, you guys saw the training part of the 3-part series. This is going to be step 2, which is talking about nutrition. So let's get right into it. All right, so nutrition. Nutrition is really important. It's going to be the single most important when it comes to losing or gaining weight, right? You cannot out-train a bad diet. You need to properly do these things that I've listed off here, so let's talk about them. The first thing is going to be tracking your macros. Why is macro tracking important, and how should you do it effectively? The reason why tracking your macros is crucial for anyone that is changing their body to look a certain way or just to get in better shape is simply because it allows you to have control over your diet and nutrition. It brings accountability to your nutrition because by staying accountable, tracking your macros, tracking your total calories, you're going to put yourself in control of what goes into your body, and it gives you a better understanding of how much food you can actually eat if you want to see results. There's a bunch of different apps that you can use to track your macronutrients. I like to use MyFitnessPal, but again, you can use whatever app you want as long as you're tracking and staying accountable with it. Now, the next is going to be whole foods. Obviously, make sure that your foods are from whole sources. And what do I mean by this? Just don't eat ultra-processed stuff, right? Chill out on the pizza. Make sure that when you're eating out, make sure that you're getting restaurants that don't have a high amount of processed foods. Stay away from things like, seed oils. I know seed oils aren't like the worst thing ever, but again, it does not help with whatever your goals are trying to be. If you're trying to be on a calorie deficit or a calorie surplus, just make sure that you're staying away from overly saturated fats and stick to foods that you can buy at the grocery store and make yourself at home. And that brings us to the 80-20 rule. Now, the 80-20 rule is eating 80% good, nutritious sources of food, your fruits, your veggies, your proteins, your carbs, good sources, 80% that, 20% of just whatever you want. Now, that 20% does have to stay within your macronutrients, and it does have to stay within your calorie deficit or calorie surplus. So do not go crazy with the 20%. It has to be only 20%. Otherwise, everything else is for nothing. So 80% hit everything correctly, 20% make sure it fits, but again, it doesn't have to be super clean, super healthy. You can eat some candy if you want to. It's not going to kill you. Just make sure it stays within your macros and your calorie deficit or calorie surplus. And lastly, enjoyment equals consistency. If you're not enjoying your foods, if you're not enjoying, what you're putting in your foods, if you're not enjoying the sauces, the seasonings, if you don't like how the food is making you taste or feel, it's not going to keep you consistent. So make sure that you, again, stick to the 80-20% rule. Find foods that are whole sources that you can cook yourself, but make sure that they taste good as well and help you stay consistent. And if you're having trouble finding healthy, nutritious recipes that are going to get you closer to your calorie goals, head over to the school community where we have tons of different resources that are going to help you meal prep and allow you to get a better understanding of what foods to eat, what foods not to eat, and how you can properly balance them out so you can get the best results possible. Link is in the description. Don't forget to come back tomorrow where I talk about part 3, which is going over recovery, which is by far the most important thing. Actually, not really, but it's super important, and it ties into the 3 trifecta of maximizing your growth potential when it comes to building muscle. So come back for part 3 tomorrow.